Hi, we're going to talk about completing the square. It's actually really pretty easy depending on your problems. Some of the problems are harder than others. We're going to start with an easy one and then move on to something more difficult. So, here we go with the easiest kind. The easiest kind starts out with an a that is 1 and a b that is even. So this is written in our standard quadratic form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And we've got the perfect a and b for the completing the square. And the first thing we're going to do is add 24 to both sides of that equation, get the c on the other side of the equation. This is something unusual we do for completing the square. Then you're going to take half of b and write the left side of the equation like this. When you do that, you actually end up adding 25 to both sides of the equation, so you have to add 25 to the other side to balance it out. And after this, it's basically arithmetic. So let's look at the 10. You want to make 1/2 of that and put it in the parentheses. And then whatever it was you put in the parentheses, you square that and add it to the other side of the equation. Remember to add and subtract these numbers at the end. That happens sometimes that people forget to do that, or people forget that it's a plus or minus when you take the square root. So that's the easiest case. It's not too bad. Here's why it works. When you take this x plus 5 squared, quantity squared, and you multiply it out, you can see that you get the x squared plus 10x that we started out with in our original problem, but we also have a plus 25 that wasn't there originally. So in order to keep that equals, we have to add it to the other side of the equation. Let's do one that's slightly harder now. And this time we still have a equals 1, but b is odd this time. We're going to take half of b again, just like we did before. B is the -3. It does not include the x. It's just the -3. And we're going to multiply that by 1/2. Move the 10 to the other side of the equation. And we have added -3/2 squared to the left side, so we need to add it to the right side. And we need a common denominator, but this one's not too hard. And when we take the square root, this is actually a perfect square, so we end up with 7/2. Yeah, we do a little bit of fraction work. You can see that there are fractions involved here. They're not super difficult. So this is still a good option. It's not too bad. But now we're going on to a third one that's I would probably use the quadratic formula for, because this one's a little nasty, but we're going to do it. This time a does not equal 1 and b is odd. So the first thing we have to do is get that a to equal 1. We're going to divide the entire equation by 3 and put that number on the other side of the equation. Because we can't do this without a equaling 1. We have to do this divide by 3 step. We take 1/2 of b. B is 1/3. We multiply it by 1/2. And we need to add 1/6 squared to the other side of the equation to balance them out. And I did need to use my calculator for this, and you can do that too. To get that 108, 3 times 36 is 108. And I checked to see, can we simplify this? No, we can't. So we're going to square root now. The square root of 36 is 6, so that makes that a little bit easier. And this is our ending answer. And if you use the quadratic formula, you will get this exact same answer. It depends which one you like better. But that's all. That's how you complete the square. Just remember to multiply b, make sure a equals 1, multiply b by 1/2, add the square of that 1/2 b to the right side of the equation. That's it.